Hey, welcome to the garage. It's a Saturday. Didn't have much to do today, and I started thinking about what can I do in the garage. I remembered that my KTM sitting here behind me. This is a 450 EXC. The front wheel needs balancing. Now, when I first got it and I was riding it, I thought there was something, maybe the front rim was bent or something. But I realized that it just wasn't balanced, and I had the original tires on it, I believe, when I got it, and I have since switched over to another tire, so it'd be time to rebalance anyway. But some of the balancers I put on fell off, and so I'm going to show you what I do to balance an enduro tire, or this would apply to just about any tire, but today especially with ones with spokes. And it really does make a difference. If you're going to use, like I use my 450, I use it for an adventure bike. I do some trail riding on it too, but if you see my other videos, you'll see that I've done a kind of a conversion project on it, turning it into an adventure bike. Okay, here's some wheel weights. Now these are just lead weights that you can glue on, or here are some actual weights that fit onto the spokes, and then you tighten them down with a little Allen wrench screw that's in there. That doesn't have them in there. I just got these in the mail, so I've been wanting to try these for a while, but haven't done them before. So it comes with an Allen wrench, and it comes with the little screws that go in there. And these are made by Die Wheel. They're not the cheapest, but they're not the most expensive either. And I got a basic kit. You could get a whole lot more if you want to. And I just got them on Amazon. These actually, I couldn't find anything. Now again, I live in Tbilisi, Georgia, Republic of Georgia. I couldn't find any proper wheel weight, so I actually popped these off some old car wheels. And what I did was I came over here. This is my rim, front rim with the tire on it. This is a Tusk Adventure tire that's on. It's called Sport Adventure. So what I did was I just took these and I glued them on there, and they, you can use different kinds of glue. Some come with a sticky back to them, but these are secondhand, and then you stick them on there. Now these are brass weights made specifically for motorcycles. So basically you just stick that over your spoke there and you tighten it down. So how do we even know where to put them? How do we mount the tire? So I took the tire off the bike, obviously. This is the original axle, and let me show you. I just basically, I've got it slid onto a piece of all thread, and then you got to just make sure in a vise. And I've got you got to have your spacers in there, because the spacers is what holds the wheel bearing against the axle. Without that, it won't balance correctly. And so now I'm going to spin it, and I want to make sure that the axle is not spinning. So it's not spinning. If you need to, you can hold it with something, but you can see, and my all thread is not spinning, and that's just being held by this big vise. Okay, so you can see it spins really freely. So let's see what happens. Okay, now watch how it comes back. Okay, so it's getting the most heaviest part down. So you're going to put your weights on the opposite end. Now that's my wheel lock right there. Front tire on this is a tube tire. The back tire has been converted to a tubeless. You can see a video I've got on how to make a tubeless tire. And this is an Anarchy Wild. It's a big, heavy tire, and it could probably use some balancing too. But where you're going to notice it the most is in the front in your steering. Going down the road, I mean, I was really getting some shake. And again, I thought maybe my rim was bent, but as you can see, look at the rim there. As far as I can tell, there are no bends in there. If there is, it's very, very slight. You can see now, it's balancing down here on that side. What we wanted to do is, really, if that's the heavy side, we want that to sit right there and just sit still. Because otherwise you're going to get this kind of out of round feeling. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put some of these wheel weights on the opposite side here and see if we can get it to balance out. And it may just be one weight. You may end up putting more than one. And these come in different sizes. You know, some of these are really big and heavy. I don't imagine I'm going to use one of those. But when you think about how big that is and how heavy that when you think about how heavy this wheel lock is, tire lock, it's going clear inside the big piece of rubber on the other side of it. And then also we've got our inner tube valve right there, very close as well. So that's creating extra weight on that one side. And naturally, no rim is going to be perfect or in perfect balance. Okay, so this is a little bit of experimental work. So you can see I put a small one on there, and these actually fit. This is the first time I've used them, but these actually fit right up over the spoke tensioner there. So let's see what happens when I spin it. Oh, it's coming back. So it's still heavier on this end. So let's try a little bit bigger one. Okay, you can see I put a slightly bigger one on there. This was the last one. So just a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. Let's see what happens. Widen that up a little bit. Oh, stopping, coming back. It's still not heavy enough. You can see what a difference is. That's a big lunker of a weight on there. Okay, so that's getting quite large there. I'll weigh it in the end and we'll find out exactly how many grams that is. Let's try swinging it again, see what happens. Ooh, there it is, there it is. Oh, still coming up. It's still coming up. You can see what a difference it makes when you're riding. And you're going to have to do this every time you change the tire, because the tires are not going to be perfectly balanced, depending upon, you know, the kind of tire, the quality tire, how much you spend on it. Alright, well, so now, but it's settling just a little bit to the side there. Let's just check that again. Yeah, it's just not quite smooth enough to tell. Let's put a second one on there. Let's leave that one on there and put one more small one right next to it and see what happens. Okay, here we go. Let's just try 5. I've got a big one on there and a small one on there. Let's just see what happens. Let's give it spinning a little bit there. All we want is it to just stop. Like that. Could probably adjust it a little bit more. But man, if you get it that close on a dual sport or an adventure bike, you're doing pretty good. And this is obviously not using a machine, computer operated. This is just by hand. And that, so it should, if I put it right there, it should stay right there. Staying right there. Oh, pretty close. Okay, let's. Any position I put it in and stop it, it should stay. Moving a little bit. Let's just try putting it right there. That's the real test. Let's see which way it comes down. I can see it wants to go just a little bit to that side, but not enough to where I'd put another weight on there. So let's go with that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weigh those, and we'll find out how many grams we put on there. So we got 58 grams. Let's change the unit just for us, for you Americans. Ounces, okay. Now we're in ounces. So we've got 2.04 ounces. So that's how far off that wheel is balanced. Maybe it doesn't seem like a lot, maybe it seems like a lot, but when you get out on the road and start going fast, that's a lot. And if you've got any trouble balancing your front wheel, this is a good way to do it. Again, you can use these little glue-on lead weights There are other kinds that you can kind of pinch on, but I'm going to give these a try. They look pretty cool, and I don't know, you might want to put some, that's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm going to put some Loctite in these little screws to make sure they stay on. Because if they come off on the trail, no big deal, no big loss, but on the way back, you're going to feel that vibration again. Okay, so I got them on there, balanced again. Just put some, see some blue Loctite in there. That's not that, that's the kind that's still removable. And it seems to be balancing pretty well. And the balance looks good. Okay, and again, I got those Loctited in, they're set. So now I can put her back on there and hopefully get out and try it. Not today though. Today it is pouring. I know guys that like to go mud riding and stuff, but man, I am not one of them. I used to do that when I was a kid, but coming back and spending half an hour just cleaning up the the bike, not my idea of fun. Got a lot of projects going here. My son-in-law's building a house here next to ours. Across the road, I'm building another house. Got our cabin over there. As you can see, that's where my son lives. This is our house. That's Dexter. He's just keeping an eye on things there, making sure everything's in order. And probably wishing he was in on his bed right now. All right, yeah, back into the garage. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to throw that back together and give it a try. Yeah, hope you have a great day, and blessings of the Lord be upon you.